What's that?
So Brad, we're getting set up for next week at ISC West, and we've done some videos the last couple days here, but the goal is at ISC West that we can then do some live streamings from some of our manufacturers about some of the new, technologies, new products, new solutions that we have. Is there any ones that you're excited to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're going to see this year, and there's been a huge industry push as far as analytics and deep learning, things like that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I think that is going to be at least prevalent around all the show floor, right? Is the new AIs and how companies are utilizing that to their advantage. I know Bosch is introducing or bringing to the table, the IVA Pro packs, which we've seen over the past day and a half so far, that it's really impressive, and it's gonna do a lot of things and really introduce a new age of analytics for people who, let's face it, traditionally didn't really get too much involved in it because of the amount of calibration and maybe in sometimes, I mean, let's face it, was a little complicated to set up, and if you had to mass deploy those things, it kind of takes the ability to complete projects in an efficient way out, off. So, and that's, I think, why it wasn't widely used. But, then you still have the forensic piece of analytics, which is still there. But I think as technology gets better, more efficient, and chipsets get better, your ability for discovering what possibilities you have for live events and live situations and alerts so that you can respond quicker is just going to improve and improve. Yeah. So that's what I'm really looking forward to seeing.
And it was nice to see, I like to say it was, idiot proof, because there's no really programming setup calibration to these cameras now. We were able to pull them out of the box, hook them up, and they were working. I mean, they were classifying people, cars. They were doing multiple objects. I mean, we were doing some things last night, I know, in some low light environments that it was still classifying us, and we were, as a group, really close together. So, it's getting to that point now where, and I think a lot of integrators and end users were scared of analytics, because the question I used to get is, well, how long is it going to take to set this up?
Exactly.
And it was sort of that loaded question, because it depended on the person or the organization. How good were they? And, were they able to, set it up in 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours? A lot of times they had to go back and recalibrate or reset up and program because it wasn't working the way they wanted it to. Here, it was as easy and as simple as you can make it.
And that's the thing. I mean, and we can say that all day long, but I think people, you're going to have to see it, and you're going to have to see a camera default out of the box, and you literally pick it up and you point it at, and it's categorizing people and objects. So I really think that's going to be a huge staple this year at ISC. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of other stuff, as with new feature sets and software and new product technologies as usual, right? We see those things too. But I think really what we're going to see is a huge AI push on that kind of perspective.
So we got the AI, on the Bosch side, along with other manufacturers. The other thing I know that, I'm excited to see, and it sounds like by the end of March will be, a release, is the new Gen, and has the analytics now, set up in it. Easy deployment, plus just better quality, more zoom, lower light capabilities. So again, it's going to be, a lot of excitement because of new products, new technologies, new solutions. And ultimately, that's what we need from, our customers, integrators, dealers, is what do you want us to test, and how do you want us to test it, so we can show you these solutions? Because let us help you. It really is what it comes down to, is if you have an application and you don't want to be a guinea pig, let us be the guinea pig.
Absolutely.
Because if you have the question, there's probably 50 other customers out there that have the same question. So,
Well, that's exactly like what we've been doing the past day and a
Yeah.
half. I mean, is testing these applications so that we can bring that knowledge into these sites and these questions. When these questions get posed,
Yep.
what what experience do we actually have? We're not reading it off of a data
No.
sheet anymore, right? We're putting it in the field and we're simulating different applications so that we can get a real life idea or understanding of what these things can do. And I think that's what kind of sets it all apart, right? And you're not reading off of a piece of paper anymore.
Well, again, data sheets are great, but they all sound, easy and,
fades together eventually.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it really comes down to it, testing it in the field, making sure it's going to solve the problem, and be a good solution at that point. Because otherwise, as we've said for years, we're just a commodity then at that point, and everyone then just looks at commodities as a price point. We're here. If you have a solution, you're fixing a problem. Price usually isn't the first concern.
Exactly.
It's how easy can we deploy this? And if we deploy it here, now maybe we can deploy it at multiple locations then at that point.
Correct.
I mean, I hate to say
do we even say cookie cutter? Do you even, go that far?
Plug and play.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think
as a technical person, it's what, plug in what?
Play. Yeah. Yeah, you hear that too. I mean, and unfortunately, that's kind of been the inside joke industry, right? Is plug and pray. But and going into ISC, I think at least from what I expect, I think we're going to see all these new technologies, hardware advances in optics and stuff like that, and these these software drivers that are just making them that much more powerful.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Like with anything, and like every year, there's going to be new stuff. But I think this year's really going to at least set the expectation for future.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the only thing I know, Matt, the slave drivers got us doing like 18 to 20 videos out of ISC West. And I think we started like 7:30 in the morning because we got to be doing a lot of this video shoots specifically, especially at ISC West. You can't do it during normal business hours or show floor hours.
Very difficult.
It's too noisy. There's too many crowds. So, we're doing a lot of them between like 7:30 and 10. The show starts at 10. And then, at 4:30, 5 o'clock, we're back on the show floor, besides doing with customers and meeting with people and checking out all the new things, doing some more videos then, when it's a little bit quieter and, we can get to our manufacturers, from ComNet to Orion to Kamen to Bosch to Winstead and, Southwest Microwave. So, our goal is to get to each one of them and be able to see what's new, what's exciting, what solutions they have, and then be able to hopefully either live stream it to you or, we'll record the videos too. And then this way, then people can see them at their leisure. So the goal is if you can't get to ISC West, hopefully we'll get to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So I think that'll wrap it up for our little ISC
But
intro.
how does everyone get in contact with us?
I was just going to get to that, but you can reach us at support@mitchs.com.
Thank you.